typical pathways in the process of becoming. I didn't realise that how much Ellie was missing out on as far as going through the typical adolescent stuff. She's got a brother who's a year younger and no older siblings. So, I was probably it for her. Even though she was at school and she'd see stuff, I think, and what really brought it home to me was the shopping incident. I would take Ellie shopping, and it wasn't a fun event, I tell you, because I hate shopping, but stand and go, well, do you like it? No, do you like it? Completely, ineffectual. But since she's had some young team members on board, they go shopping, and Ellie comes home with these amazing clothes. Ellie loves it, the team mentor loves it, but that sort of role modelling that adolescents get, and because adolescents, guess what? They don't want to be our kids anymore. They want to break away. That's the task of adolescents, to break away from your family, your parents, and peers become your role models. We can talk about the good and bad about that, but I didn't realise how much Ellie had missed out on in that way. And since she has been around friends more and with her peer mentors, as she has been getting out more, she knows all these songs on YouTube, and I'll say, who's that? Because to be honest, the only songs Ellie used to know was ABBA, and that was my fault. We'd sing ABBA in the car, we'd know all the words. She has this whole list of music. Who's that? And she'll, it's whatever. She's actually becoming the young woman that, that she's meant to be. Using interests and passions to build on this. So, Ellie loves Australian animals for some reason. We use what her interests are. She loves food. Now, some would say, that's not very good because, we do have to be a bit careful with Ellie. She has a tendency to put on weight. But we use that love of food because, for her to go out to the pizza restaurant or the coffee shop or whatever, while she's there, yes, she's reading a menu, she's learning social skills about waiting, turn taking. She's learning, and she has come so far that if she begins to feel anxious, she's got some strategies. She knows now that if it's getting too noisy, she can actually say, I'm getting anxious, I need to leave. And she knows that whoever is supporting her will respect that and they will leave. Now, that hardly ever happens anymore. Guess why? Because she knows that when she's in that position, that she can articulate and that someone will listen to her. So, using her interests around food, we're not stopping her from going out, to the restaurant. We encourage her to try other options, healthy options. She goes to Subway a bit now. But yeah, using a person's interest to capacity build relationships. So I think in the past too, there's been this fear on both sides that you don't develop relationships or friendships with the people that you support. And that's been from providers and families, and I can understand that. But I think it comes down to a really individual thing. So Ellie does regard these peer mentors, support workers as friends. 4 of them came to her party. They were invited but not paid, but they came because they wanted to be there, and they stayed and they danced. And so yeah, we use those relationships to the best advantage as well. Untapped potential. As I said, I wouldn't have imagined 3 years ago that Ellie would be sitting in a cafe, Ellie would be using a mobile phone, that Ellie would be going to her local IGA with one of her team and using an EFTPOS card. Okay, I can't remember my PIN number. I've got it hidden in my phone, but this young person who has a significant intellectual disability, oh my God, can remember her PIN number, swipe her card, swipe the groceries. Does anyone else have trouble finding the barcode? I don't like all that stuff. I want someone else to do it. So I suppose what I'm sharing here is be careful that our own misconceptions or preconceptions don't sort of allow us to let our kids, or young adults, try new things, because we all try things and sometimes we fail, and that's okay. But we need to let people try things, have a go. It's okay if it doesn't work. We all fail. We learn from our failures, if you want to see it like that. One person at a time. I've come to realise that the enormous growth in Ellie as an individual in her capacity and all that jargon is through this one-on-one stuff. She still goes to some group activities. She chooses which one. She's going on a camp next week with some other young people with a disability, young adults. But the major growth we have seen with her is because of the appropriate one-on-one and the relationships and the engagements that happen through that. Her language. So Ellie uses some spoken language, but a lot of her language is non-verbal, and so the people that support her need to understand that and really watch. But even her spoken language at 18 has increased. So she's coming out with words and I go, whoa, that's because she's actually with role models that are similar in age, and they're having conversations. So let's not put too many limits on our loved ones, I suppose. Some people have significant disabilities, and that's okay, but I think sometimes we get a bit blinded by what we perceive and what we see, and everyone's an individual, and we don't know what we don't know. And what I mean by that is, I wouldn't have imagined, 4 or 5 years ago that we would be where we are now. So we don't know what we don't know. Never say never.